Peace. What's up? B1. So since I have some time, I wanted to go over a couple of different topics. Maybe I'll get into them later. I know it's kind of early, so it is what it is. But I've been seeing a lot of talk about the Deion Sanders, him leaving, excuse me, Jackson State and going to coach at, where was that, Colorado, right? So people are calling him a sellout. He's pathetic. He's not really God fearing. I'm hearing all kinds of different stuff that's crazy, if you ask me, especially from people who clearly don't follow. You know what I'm saying? Like they make their comments and their opinions without knowing the facts, without understanding and really critically thinking, and without putting yourself in that situation if you have really thought about it. Like, let's just keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Deion Sanders is one of the best players ever to play. He can easily go to any NFL team and maybe not be a head coach, but who's not going to give him a defensive back coach position that would have paid him way more than Jackson State University? Let's just start it there. Second of all, let's say like this. Let's just put it in perspective, like what really happened, and just to show his character, he didn't air JSU out for a lot of the things that's coming out now that he could have aired them out about. He didn't do that. He could have and probably should have, but he didn't, right? So he was getting paid $300,000 a year to coach for JSU. Out of that $300,000, he gave half of it back so that they can build up their school and build up their facilities. So he got paid $300,000, gave $150 of it back so they could build their facility up. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, he brought in millions of dollars of contracts, sponsorships that went to the school. He brought them in personally. Like, he made the phone calls. He did things that a coach shouldn't have to do. He brought in sponsorships. He brought in major networks, including the NFL Network and ESPN, to cover the games to get them more exposure. He brought in top recruits, and he paid for travel expenses, lodging expenses, and food for his team as they traveled out of his pocket. You're not supposed to have to do that as a head coach. So at the end of the day, he's probably actually losing money coaching at Jackson State. Then he gets robbed 3 times, literally gets robbed. Now, here's my thing. For people who are saying he sold out, he did more. He went above and beyond. It's like the unfortunate thing is with our people is that when you do too much out of the kindness of your heart, people they don't appreciate it. In this case, they took it for granted and expected more and more and more. And he was being done wrong the whole time. Like I said, he was probably losing money. Now, if I'm Jackson State University and I got Deion Sanders coming as a coach, I got Deion Sanders coming to coach my dusty ass team that was only pulling about 10 to 15, literally 10 to 15 people per game. The first thing I'm doing a media blitz. I'm buying merchandise. I'm buying hats. I'm getting hats made. I'm getting shirts. I'm getting jerseys. I'm getting sweatsuits. I'm getting sweaters. Remember back in the days we used to rock those HBCU sweaters? I'm getting all of that. I'm getting all kinds of merch. I'm flooding the airwaves in Mississippi with Jackson State University football and the region. I'm sending merch all over the state. I'm getting it popping. I'm using all of this. I'm using all of the media attention that's coming to Jackson State. I'm using the fact that we have Deion Sanders, and I'm putting it out there everywhere. And we're monetizing all of that. Here's another thing that a lot of people don't know about the contract that Deion Sanders had with Jackson State University. In the contract, he was supposed to get a percentage of the ticket sales over 30,000. Jackson State University Stadium fits over 60,000 people can fit in that stadium. He was packing the stadium for the home games when he was there. Remember, he brought him 2 back-to-back championships. He was packing the stadium, and they're saying, oh, well, the ticket sales didn't equal 30,000 or whatever the threshold was. I think it was 30,000, when clearly it did. So in other words, they weren't giving him the props. Now, if I'm JSU and I have Deion Sanders, Man, I'm doing everything to keep him there, especially when he's giving back half of the salary. No, you're going to get a percentage of those sales because I'm knowing these sales come from you. I'm doing everything to make you comfortable. I'm getting security. Ain't nobody running up in your office. No, you don't have to pay for the travel. We got that. I mean, the ticket sales can handle that. See, that's how they get paid, the ticket sales and merch sales. That's how a lot of their money comes, plus TV contracts and all that. So he's bringing all of that money into this dusty ass school and not even getting reciprocated for it and making him pay come out of his pocket because people are looking at him like, well, you're a multimillionaire anyway. You can afford it. No. You're expecting him to do all the work and you're not putting up any work. You're not even honoring the contract. So then when another team comes, a higher profile team says, hey, we're going to give you 15 times what you're getting paid. You're getting paid really more than that. Really, it's like 100 times if you really think about it, because he was giving half of it back. Well, okay, the math is off. But he's going from 300,000, which he's only getting 150 of it because he's giving it away, to 5 million. Hell, who would have turned that down? See, if they would have been giving him the ticket sales like he was supposed to, that would have supplemented his income. What they should have been like is, okay, since you're bringing all these sponsors, Nike, this and that, how about we come out with some primetime jerseys? We could split the deal. You get a third, Nike get a third, the school gets a third, and we're all eating. Plus, yes, take your percentage for the ticket sales. Now you're not coming out your pocket. Now you're actually making money. You're generating a profit. You're raising the profile of not just Jackson State University, but of HBCUs, because in the contracts that he didn't just make it for Jackson State. As far as the sponsorships he brought in, he was making it so the NFL Network and major sports networks were giving coverage to more HBCUs and scouting HBCUs. And that's still going on. They're still looking at HBCUs for scouting and stuff. But you understand that JSU fumbled the fucking bag. They fumbled the situation that they could have had going on with Deion Sanders. Like, you have a fucking you have a MVP, ex Super Bowl champ, two sport playing phenomenon like Deion Sanders, and you don't even honor the contract so he can get his money. You should have made sure he was eating. And then, of course, as some people know, Jackson State University has a history of mismanaging funds with the administration. So he literally got robbed, like on 3 occasions. He was getting robbed out of the money he was supposed to be getting for ticket sales. They're not making ambitious moves to generate money and raise the profile. They have janky water. It's in a shithole state. I hate to say it, Mississippi, in the first place. Like, who moves to Mississippi? Nobody. You're trying to get out of Mississippi. Let's keep it real. It's the poorest state in the country. No disrespect if you're from Mississippi. I'm in Texas right now. That's only 2 states away. But let's keep it a buck. This nigga went to Mississippi. He's a rich multi-millionaire. He went there. He basically was Superman. He was basically Haru resurrecting that team, and they didn't even see. When you get blessings, and this is a lesson. It's a lesson for all of y'all that's spiritual, all of y'all that's religious, all of y'all that's woke. When you get blessings, when you ask for blessings and you get the blessings and you don't recognize and appreciate the blessings will leave. You can't tell me you believe in ancestors, you believe in God, you believe in all this stuff, and then when you ask for a blessing, you get it and you don't recognize it or you don't utilize it, then you think that you're going to continue to get blessed? It don't work like that. It does not work like that. That is a disrespect to the universe, to God, to the ancestors, to the creator, to whatever you believe in, to yourself, to not take advantage of blessings when you have them, to not recognize them and appreciate them. Then they leave. And then whatever source you're calling on these blessings, why are they going to continue blessing you if you fumbled the blessing that you had, if you didn't appreciate it? Make sure y'all like this and all that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people, we have a habit, some of us, of speaking on things that we don't know and not really putting ourselves in that situation. Like, you wouldn't have went and worked somewhere and then gave half the salary back to your job. You wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have turned down a job that's offering you 15 times what you're getting paid. You wouldn't work at a place where you can't even trust that you won't get robbed at your job. You wouldn't work at a place where they're telling you you're going to get these bonuses and then they're capping and not giving you the bonus. And then you're realizing that they're stealing and misappropriating funds that should be yours. So cut some slack to Deion for that. Yeah, it would have been dope if he would have stayed around. Hell yeah. But he also even put in position to where now there's other ex-NFL players that's coming to coach HBCU. So he was a blessing to Mississippi and Jackson State University, way more so than they were to him. But now let's move to the next topic. I can't see if there's any like people commenting and all that because I can't really see comments, so I don't know if anybody's even commenting. But here's what I want to do now, though. I want to pivot to the Umar Johnson interview on the Breakfast Club and speak about reparations in general. So the last few years, we've been really moving the needle. When I say we, I mean like New Black Media. I mean us who are on social media, who are pushing this topic, those who are actually on the streets organizing, just those who are tweeting and posting and sharing. And the fact that we collectively have been putting this into the universe, right? Remember, we don't want to disrespect our blessings. We speak things into existence. We put things into the universe. We make our demands known, and to the point to where since we're collectively doing this and we actually have more influence than the talking heads that mainstream media puts to represent us. Ain't nobody listen to Roland Martin. Nobody listen to Al Sharpton. Ain't nobody listen to Moise Lamont Hill. None of them shills. Nobody's listening to them. They understand that the underground is really speaking for the needs and demands of our people. That's why we say New Black Media. That's why we say B1. We are speaking our own narrative, uncut, unadulterated. CNN ain't speaking for us. None of them clowns that they put on CNN speak for us. None of them soft, whitewashed Negroes really speak for us. We've been speaking for us. And because of that, we're now moving the needle when it comes to reparations. So because we're getting so close to the goal of reparations, of course, we also have those who will go against the grain. Some of them do it purposely. Some of them do it, what I want to say, selfishly, because they're selfish and they have egos and they want to be the face of the movement. Now, ironically, I've actually stuck up for Umar on several occasions throughout the years. I've protected him, literally. I literally put together the security detail when he came to Seattle years ago. I've met with him a few times. I've interviewed him a few times. I really root for that school because we need the school that he's speaking of. He bought the property, cool. He ain't got it going up yet, but whatever. But when he went on the Breakfast Club, I could not watch the interview past the reparations part because once he said what he said about the reparations, I was done. I'm like, nah, I can't fuck with it. Like, how can you get on a big platform like the Breakfast Club and tell people that we shouldn't get, that reparations would actually set us back? He started off by saying the reparations movement came from the Pan-African movement. So basically, he's already throwing shade at the New Black Media and the FBA movement because he wants the credit to go to the Pan-African because, of course, he is the prince of Pan-Africanism and he's Big Papa and he's the King Kong consciousness. So he goes on there. He says reparations ain't going to stop mass incarceration. Reparations won't stop miseducation. Huh? Like you're literally raising money for the past 10 years, something like that, 7, whatever, for a school, which the only reason the school ain't popping, according to you, is because you don't have the resources because we haven't collectively put up enough resources. And there's truth to that. But imagine post-reparations, you not being able to put together a school in every major city across America. So you're raising money. Obviously, we need resources. Obviously, if we had resources and ability to create more jobs, there probably wouldn't be mass incarceration because most of our people that's incarcerated, it's not for crimes of passion. It's not for crimes of lust. It's for crimes of survival. It's for taking high risk to feed our families. That's what young brothers are getting locked up for. So imagine reparations being dispersed, even at 200,000. We know that's not enough. We know we need more than that. We know, I'm saying, we need land as well. We need all kinds of things to go in with this reparation package. But first things first, the easiest thing to disperse would be that purse, because you can direct deposit. Now, I don't know about you. See, he's talking about how, a lot of people, I've seen other people say the same thing. And they're like, oh, yeah. I remember I had a conversation with one of my homies years ago, like before this reparation movement was even popping, before the FBA terminology was popular again, long time ago. And one of the things that we joked about, one of the homies said was, basically, we're going to give it all away. And I said, yeah, probably, a lot of us probably will. Damn well we get reparations. They're going to come out with a Harriet Tubman Ford Explorer edition. Harriet Tubman, edition Ford Explorer. They're going to come out with a Frederick Douglass Denali. Yeah, they're going to do all that. And the same Negroes that be lining up for the Jays overnight, yes, they're going to go and give that money right back. And me, what I said was, well, that's a good strategy then. Let's push them that idea, because if they know they're going to get it back, they may be more inclined to go ahead and, rush that reparations, knowing they're going to get it right back. Because I don't care what other people do with their money. You could smoke it up if you want to. You could buy all the J's you want. You could buy all kind of cars, all kind of chains. You could do whatever you want to do with yours. I know as far as me and mine. I know as far as people in my family. I know as people in my circle. I know I can gather at least a good 20 people who, with at reparations, even at 200,000, that would be what, 4 million. And we can buy 1,000 acres of land somewhere in the South, build all kinds of homes, drill in for the well water. Now we have free, unregulated, clean water. Solar panels. Now we have free electricity. Grow some food. Now we don't have to worry about eating. Raise some cattle. That's not just food. That's also leather now. Build manufacturing facilities. Get some of the businesses that we already have in our mind or that we're already struggling with off the ground. There's a lot of homeschools, a lot of people who have teaching abilities or passions. Education centers are popping up. Medical centers are popping up. All the sisters that's into healing, it'll be popping. It would literally be like Black Wall Streets all over the place. Speaking of Black Wall Streets, do you know we still have like 20 black towns right now? Like right now. A dozen of them are in Oklahoma. One I think still in Florida. I think there's one in Missouri, Georgia. I want to say Illinois. Like we still have black towns. Google it. I started a movement a few years ago, like in 2016, but nobody was really ready at the time, called Black Town Revival Movement, which you can find on Facebook right now. And I showed you at least the towns in Oklahoma: Boley, Oklahoma, Langston, which also has a college, Boley, Oklahoma, Redbird, Tallahassee. Like we got black towns right now, and there's still towns for sale all over this country. I was just watching the video just last weekend, right here in West Texas. This dude went around to like 10 dusty ass, pretty much ghost towns. Now imagine we all get reparations, and those of us who are on code have the right mind state, start flooding some of these black towns where there's, I think the biggest black town in Oklahoma, there's like 1,800 people. The smallest one, there's like a couple dozen, because people are leaving. I've met people from one of those towns in Seattle because they moved. So imagine if we had the resources and we all ascended on these black towns in Oklahoma and all over the country and start building them up. Took our resources there, start building them up, vote ourselves into office, upgraded the infrastructure, upgraded technological infrastructure, the roads, all that stuff, and got it popping with the Black Wall Street mind state again. We'd have all kinds of, instead of Chinatowns, Africa towns all over the country, where we're producing goods and services and trading with each other and trading globally, and our money is circulating, and we're protected from what, you know what I'm saying, from whatever kind of inflation or whatever kind of recession is going on. Kind of like Black Wall Street was, kind of like these black towns that were still prosperous during the Depression because their money was circulating. They had all their needs met. See, this is why they probably don't, want to give us reparations, but we're still pushing the needle. So I don't want to hear any arguments about we shouldn't do it because of what some cats might do with their money, or it won't solve every problem. So what? It will solve most of them. And not having reparations also won't solve any damn problems. So don't entertain none of that. Look, man, they're coming after us in ways to throw us off our movement, to throw us off of our focus, to throw us off of the agenda that we have set forth and have been following and actually making grounds with. They're sending tethers, they're sending coons. Unfortunately, some of our own who you would think are on code are trying to be so woke and sound so intelligent and so insightful, or they want to usurp the movement because they're not getting the type of credit that they think they should get. So they're throwing shade. Some of it ain't even on purpose. Some of it's like they really mean well. But sometimes when you're too damn woke, you get delusional, right? Sleep deprivation is real. You've been up for days and days and days. Yes, you start getting delusional. You start getting groggy. You start not thinking correctly. You start saying some bullshit and babbling. So sometimes you're just too damn woke for your own good. Like, it's very simple. Reparations will help us more than it hurts us. There's no way reparations will set us back. Let's not entertain any of that conversation about how we shouldn't get what's ours because of what some people might do with it. What would you do with it? Would it help you and your family? It would help mine. It would help everybody I know. And collectively, since we're already codifying, look, it is what it is. Not everybody's going to make it. There's going to be some people that's going to be on some bullshit, and there's nothing we could do about it. But there's enough of us that aren't. There's enough of us that understand what time it is and will make the proper moves that will not just elevate us individually and our families, but our communities and our people. It's game time. I'm out, y'all. Let me see. I'm gonna get up out of here. If I have some time, I'll do some live later. I just want to get those off. You know what I'm saying? Stay on code B1. Salute to FBA family. Liberation Minded Media. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment. Let me know what you think. I'm out.